Hi and welcome to fiddlerman.com. This is the site where I'll teach you to play the violin for free. Today I want to talk about scales and show you how to play an easy C major 2-octave scale. To begin with, we play scales to warm up. We want to warm up our left hand, making sure that each and every note is coming down as nice and clean as possible. Usually we play the scales that are related to the pieces or the symphonies or whatever we're going to work on later. And then we play it very often to get good exercises on our right hand as well. We want to get used to usually playing really long, painful, slow strokes. A good exercise is to play your scales note for note as long as you possibly can, listening to the tone, try to get as even as possible, and obviously as clean as possible with the left hand. The second reason for playing scales is to establish finger patterns, and this is probably the most important thing. You practice every single scale in every single key, then when you find a piece later on with that key, you'll be playing easier without thinking in the right key and in tune because you practice those scales. Music consists of scales going up and down, skipping notes with arpeggios. That's what music is. So we'll begin by talking about a C major scale. I'm going to begin the C major scale by playing the third finger on the G string. Put the third finger down so it sounds like that. And the next note you have a choice. You either play an open D or a fourth finger. Whichever one you do, if you play the fourth finger, you can compare it to the open D just to make sure it's the same. And it's good practice to actually use the fourth finger. A fourth finger sounds better than the open D because the open D or the open A or whatever string that you play will resonate more and it will stick out. So if you're playing a piece and all of a sudden you play the open strings, they stick out. Unless you really want to emphasize the note and play no vibrato, for example, then you want to play with the fourth finger. It's more difficult to play with the fourth finger, and the fourth finger is the weakest finger of all of your fingers. So you probably should practice with the fourth finger. So let's start over again. Play the third finger on the G string. That's your C. Now, from the C to the D is actually a whole step. There it is. Then from the D to the E is a whole step. Now the next interval is just a half step. Every scale consists of 8 notes. You have the beginning note, the bass note, and then you have the octave. It's 2 groups of 4, which are whole, whole, half. You start the next group of 4, also whole, whole, half. There's the half. And then starting on the G, A, which is the fourth finger on the D string. The B natural is the first finger. And then the half step. Go on to the next octave. That's the half step. If I were to play an open E, you play the first finger goes right up against the nut. Then you do the next group. Watch what I'm doing here. I'm just sliding the finger because I still want you to practice in first position. So here we go, one more time from the top C on the A. It's the second finger, close to the first finger. Here you can compare it to your open. And like that A was a little high. So this is your chance to fix the note. If you have the patience to play very slow, you should do that. Practice with different pressures in different areas between the bridge and the fingerboard till you find what works for you if you want to establish a very strong note or if you want a nice soft note. Practice these scales slowly and concentrate very much on the intonation. Then work to speed up just a little more. Maybe play slurred, forced, 4 notes at a time. And and so on. Maybe you want to play 8 notes at once. Enjoy practicing. Play till you feel like you've played enough, and if you begin to be tired in your hand, maybe put the violin away, take it out later. Enjoy your practice as much as possible. Don't press too hard so you're in pain in your left hand, but don't press too soft so you get a bad sound. You need to press just enough to get the right sound. This is your lesson on scales. Thank you for visiting Fiddler Man.